Hello and welcome to the Alburnett School Board Forum. I'm Lars David, current president of the Alburnett chapter of NHS. It is our chapter's pleasure to host this year's School Board Forum. It is our mission as an NHS chapter to elevate our school's commitment to the values of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Helping moderating this year's forum, I am joined by our member at large, Zach Cameron, and we will now introduce our candidates. So, our first candidate that I want to introduce is Jennifer Slight, all the way down there again. Then we have Terry Chostner, and then over here on this side, we have Jan Abel. Jason Martin is out of town right now, he wishes to be here. And then we have Daniel Amaro, Melissa Menson, and Mary Barton. All right, our first question for tonight, Jan, we'll start with you here. What does being purple on purpose mean to you?
So I would say purple on purpose to me is living or representing yourself with deliberate hands, representing your family, your community, and just do everything for a reason. Because everything you do reflects on you and your family, and people are watching you when you're doing it. So I've experienced that in my professional career as well. So that's what purple on purpose is.
I would say similar. It's being intentional and doing everything that you do as a community member and as family members and parents of students that you act with intentionality and knowing where you're at and who you're representing and just being very purposeful and intentional.
For me, purple on purpose means that the staff, the administration, the school board, students, we have a choice about what school district we want our kids to be in, whether we go and enroll or whether we live in the district, but we all have a choice about being here at Alburnett, and we choose Alburnett, and we are proud to be here, and we are proud of the school district and everything it represents, and how it's become like a family to all of us.
Purple on purpose to me revolves around community and family, because a lot of us care about this school. I mean, everyone that's here today obviously cares about the school because they want to come and hear what we have to say. And so it's a representation of the community of Alburnett and how everything around this area is centered around the school, and a lot of people around here want what's best for the school. So being purple on purpose has to do with the fact that we're here to make sure that the school is the way we want it to be.
So when I think about purpose, I kind of think about goal setting and the path that someone takes on their way to achieving their goal. And so then purpose kind of is what you find along the path. And as the children grow and those goals change, their purpose still develops, and it's kind of a wonderful thing to see where your path takes you as you develop your purpose.
Purple on purpose to me represents character, leadership, and community. I think those are all characteristics that we see in our community district-wide. I think we see that it's what we hope to instill in our students, but it's also what's reflected in our broader community. I'm going to go along with what many of the others said too, the family involvement. This is a community that is very intentional about how they raise their children, how they invest themselves in the community, and what they expect from one another, and that's what Purple on Purpose means to me.
First of all, guys, I want to apologize for not being able to be here for the forum, Q&A session. I would have loved to have been here, but I do appreciate you guys taking the time today and sitting down and talking to me. But Purple on Purpose, for me, Purple on Purpose is more than just a marketing tool, a marketing logo. Tracy and I, my wife and I, we work at Transamerica, and we've been fortunate enough to be able to work in several different cities around the country. So we're familiar with a lot of those areas, and had the opportunity to call any of those places home if we want to. If we wanted to relocate, we sure could have. But this is where we chose to be. So we're here, by design. This is where we want to be. So we're here on purpose.
Yeah.
And I believe that most of the people in the district, in this community, are here because they want to. We're close enough to Cedar Rapids and surrounding areas that people can go anywhere. But I think when they come to Alburnett, I think that's because they want to be here, and that's the same boat that we're in. I don't think there's any better community, any better place to raise a family than Alburnett, Iowa. So that's what it means to me. And I know we've used that as a marketing tool when people have different views, different meanings of that. But that's really what it means for me. Is we're not here by accident. We're here because we want to be.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. So our next question. What motivates you to become a school board member?
Well, I decided to be a candidate on the school board for a few reasons. Really, though, just as a volunteer, when I found out that there were 3 open seats, and I'm a mother of 3 students in the district, I thought, I'm going to put my name in the running. I might have some value that I can add, just based on my professional experience. I have a lot to learn, but I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to put the time in to learn and just really help the board make the best decisions for the district. And I also have to give a shout out to Tiffany Riggs and her team because she made this, the whole public awareness campaign around this election is amazing. So hats off to her. And I'll stop talking.
The reason why I decided to run for school board was I'm very passionate about education and Alburnett and students. I just, since we've been here, I have got to know the teachers, the staff, the students, and I love these kids, and we're super happy to be here. And I feel like my experience, and I work for a bank, so my financial services background, and I used to homeschool, and I was the director of a homeschool group for 7 years, so I feel like I had 7 tutors under me. I had 64 kids that were in my care, and I was in charge of the curriculum for them and making sure that that all went smoothly and ran well. And also, I just am passionate about the school board. I've been in most of the school board meetings, and I just really like what I see, and I just want to help continue that on.
So my desire to become a school board member started a long time ago, and I didn't even know it. My wife and I have been in the district since 2014. We couple of years ago, a lot of the craziness started happening around COVID time and everything, but also just in neighboring districts. It first started out where you would see stuff on the news that happened in some district with some faraway land, but then all of a sudden it started happening in districts nearby. I started attending the school board meetings just to kind of keep my eye on this school board to see if anything was going on, and they've done a wonderful job. I just continued to go because it was interesting. You learn about budgets and you learn about policy and things that were going on in the district. And then probably in May, I think Kayla announced she was not going to run. She said, "I want to give other people a chance to decide to run." And when you love something, you want to protect it. And I really, really love this district. Do we have flaws? Sure, we have flaws, but we all have our kids over here for a reason. Our district has a 41% open enrollment rate, so that means we're obviously doing something right. I want to protect it. I want to protect why Purple on Purpose here, why we all choose to have our children come. So when Kayla announced, I just kind of said, "Oh, yep, I think it's time." You know, we all help this community in some ways. Some volunteer, some coach, some become mayor. We got that thing. But that's how I want to remind you.
I'm doing it for the money. You know, we all have our motivations, and I guess I'm in a giving back mode. My children are grown up. We moved my youngest to Milwaukee on Saturday, so we're kind of in that giving back phase. I have experience. There's some questions in here about particular experiences, but certainly we've done a lot of things in schools with our children, and I'm motivated to continue to use those experiences to be applied to whatever endeavors that the board is dealing with. And I'm sure many of them are the same, like, budgeting and fundraising, policy, community. And so, having been involved in those things in schools and in raising our children, and having the time to give back, I just want to offer those experiences to supporting the efforts of Alburnett.
I have a lot of reasons why I want to. Two of the people that I served on the school board with before are running this time. I think it's important to have a strong, cohesive board, and there are 3 positions open now, and all 3 are positions with members who serve multiple terms. And I think having experience on the board is critical, especially right now, and that segues into another reason I'm running, that is to make sure that public schools stay open, especially small schools like ours. Hot topic, I understand, but public schools have been chronically underfunded for over 15 years. Anybody who works for a school district will tell you that. There's only so far and so long a district can go on while that happens, and be able to continue to provide the education that we want our kids to have. So that's one of the primary reasons that I'm on board again, is to ensure the fiscal policy of our district, and to advocate legislatively for support for our districts. Also, my children, when kindergarten through their senior year here, we raised our children in this community, and I hope that my grandchildren will attend the school district too. I want to make sure that the district can continue to provide
leading edge education and provide a small school feel. I think, it was already mentioned, we have a very significant open enrollment rate, and that means that people like what they see here. And because Caleb is the only one on board, and I think we need to have a diverse representation of all of our voters. So, and I live on the west side of the district, so we need that representation too.
My desire to be on the school board is probably from my desire to serve. So I've been serving in some capacity since I was 17 years old when I joined the National Guard Army Reserve. I currently work for the Sheriff's Office. When I joined the board the first time, I just retired from the National Guard and I wanted another opportunity to serve. And what better location than directly here, right in the basic kind of my community. I feel like a lot is bring to the table for my experiences with the organizations I've been a part of. And I want to finish. I want to see through what we started when I was on the board and ensure that we have plenty of opportunities for our children. I went to Syracuse, Washington, State School. Easy to get lost, but lots of opportunities. And I don't want the size of our school to determine what opportunities our children can have to be ready for their life, whether it's college, trades, whatever that may be, but for us to prepare them as much as possible.
Well, 12 years ago, when I did this for the first time, I was motivated by change. I thought we could do better for our kids. I thought we could do better for our staff. I thought we could do better for our community. Now here we are 12 years later. Today, what motivates me is the success that we've had in those past 12 years. We've had a lot of change here. And whether it's recruiting a great staff, we have really good teachers here, administrators, to facilities. We have some things that we really be proud of. So that's really what has motivated me. Now going forward, we can always improve. So we want to work to be better every day, every year. And if we keep working hard, everybody will benefit from that.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you. So our next question is actually asked by a community member. It is personally or professionally, how have you specifically supported teachers, coaches, and staff at Alburnett in the past?
We have 5 kids in the district, and I have 2 in high school, 1 in middle school, and 2 in elementary. And so different ways that we have supported them would be honestly just if we see something great going on, like I can send an email to the teachers for encouragement because I know they get a lot of emails that are complaining about this or complaining about that, and I just genuinely try to be positive and if there is something, I have an email a few things too that maybe are not as positive, but try to encourage them when I do that. My kids are involved in various sports, and we try to help, my husband and I both try to help out wherever we can. If they're down to coach and they need some help on the court or whatever it is, we just try to jump in and help out, seeing the needs sort of situation. So, but yeah.
My children only recently started involving themselves in sports and activities, but I'd say one of the biggest places that I've helped out in that time it would be in the now closed Troop 504, which Jan and sons were part of as well. Boy Scouts. My son Ty, he just graduated last year and he got his Eagle Scout through that, and I was heavily involved in Troop 504 from the time he was little, along with Luke, it was very fun. I got to do a lot of stuff with my son, camping trips, helping out in the community, just a good time.
So, my kids did not go here. We moved here when they were finished up at Kennedy High School. We worked with staff at the high school and also at Harding and also at Mason. Even Little Lambs preschool when we first moved here. What I've noticed about educational staff in Iowa is that they're always receptive to their customer and the parents. And I can remember talking to the principal at Nixon Elementary School about this is kind of weird, Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's one of my favorite author. We named our son Stephen after him, and we actually it was a popular program in corporations, and then we had opportunities in elementary school, and it was like, well, these are character ethic principles, and we actually got involved with presenting, being able to apply the 7 habits to opportunities in the elementary school in a way that, principals and teachers, that's a very complicated role, and so we only had an idea, but they actually, were able to apply some of it to the students and shared it with their, I don't know what the hierarchy works, the board, maybe the school board and the city directors. So I have always found that the communities here embrace character and solid ethics, and it's kind of a duet with the teachers and the students and the parents. So it's like a triad. They really do work together to, like Stephen Covey called feedback the lunch of champions. And so I think that as a community, we provide feedback and are involved in this process, but leave the implementation of it to professionals in a very complex role. And so that's what I find to be the part that we play, and it seems to be everywhere in this wonderful state. It's been a great bunch of people to work with.
Can you ask me the question, Byron?
Question is, personally or professionally, how have you specifically supported teachers, coaches, and staff at Alburnett in the past, if at all?
I actually put my kids, went from kindergarten to their senior years here. I volunteered in classrooms when they were in elementary school, served on the board, which are there any teachers in the room who were teaching when I first started on the board? The morale at that time was incredibly low, and we worked very, very hard. to ensure that that was one of the first priorities that we addressed, because we had some fantastic teachers here, and we wanted to keep that, and we knew how important that was. Any pom-poms in there? My girls are oh, there. What do you think about to school? There's just a variety of ways that our families have been involved with the district and with the school.
There's several ways I get back to the community, school staff. I get involved in a lot, but if I'm available, I'm in help. Musical production last year, I helped improve stuff to go college. Archery, I got my license, coaching certification to help with make that program as successful as it is right now. Which ain't happening without volunteers. As a previous school board member, I was some concerns from staff members, talk to students, and just kind of did not know what was going on. As the commander of the Chicago American Legion, we support the Veterans Day assembly with the color guard, and several years ago I was actually a speaker as well. So if there's a need and I can fill it, I would volunteer.
I would say some words, stepping in and volunteering where I can and when I can. Just a couple of things that I have personally done is the School Improvement Advisory Committee, SIAC. I have been part of that in the past, which has been really good just to help the school improve there. Also, the Facilities Committee, before we started the new additions to the school and off the complex. And most recently, restarting the youth volleyball program. I have signed up to be the coordinator for that. So excited to do that so we can continue. And then, this is kind of small, but my husband and I kill the weeds in town out at the foundation, and so just little things like that, but just being able to step in and help out where we can.
Well, actually sitting here in this chair, we have the opportunity to have a lot of things presented to the board. A lot of new tools, even 3DE, and that's a big buzzword right now. Teachers and staff administrators will come to us and want to try new things. And it's my opinion that we need to let the professionals do their thing. So if we can provide the tools they need to allow them to succeed, to allow them to be the best educators they can, then our kids are gonna benefit from it. I've been a coach here, and we've had to come to the board and ask for different things, whether it just be some equipment that we needed or whatever that looks like.
Taven Bugers to the high school office. Taven Bugers to the high school office.
For the success of the district is to try to provide, if you can. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes maybe the money isn't there, but I think it's really important to try to empower our teachers in the best way we can, and we've tried to do that over the last 12 years.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. What current policies would you like to change/revise, such as dress code, substance abuse, behavior problems, etc.?
So, for those of you who don't know, we're actually in the middle, the board is currently in the middle of reviewing all the policies, and they had a discussion about them. And so a lot of them are currently under review. They've already put through the ones that are mandated by the state, and the administration is putting forward their recommendations for what they would like to see. The ones that I particularly zeroed in on and would probably revolve around bullying and or disciplinary type stuff to make sure that it's fair across the board. And also, in terms of policy or use of some stuff in the school, is SIAC. I believe you mentioned about SIAC. I'm about SIAC as well, but before SIAC seemed to be just utilized as twice a year, which is mandated, but now Will is going to have it, his plans are to have it once a month. That way you can get a lot of feedback from the community members. So as a community, now the SIAC, which is School Improvement Advisory Committee, will meet way more often to be able to feed a lot more policy review or suggestions to the school board. So I'm happy to see that was one law that I was wanting to see. I'm happy to see that Will's already implemented that.
So I was had it on my list to read all the policies before tonight, and then I opened them all up and saw that there were 400. So I don't feel like I'm in a position to comment on something that I haven't read in particular. So I'm going to pass on this question and just say that when it comes to reviewing policy, that these things take a little bit of time. They're generally good reasons that what is there. And so when I'm reviewing policy, I like to learn about the history of the policy. And I'll stop. I take it seriously, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
I don't have any policies that I'd like to change right now. I believe that policies should be changed as a reaction to a specific situation. If it's not an ongoing issue, then it could possibly be placed under consideration, but because the policies are reviewed regularly, I think with input from the community, that of course should be considered, but like was mentioned, there's generally a good reason for a policy. One of the suggestions on here, behaviorally problematic students, there are laws that require certain policies to be in place, and it's not optional to change. So I think if a person's running on for the board to change a policy, they're probably going to be surprised that it's not as easy as they think.
I don't have a policy specifically in mind that I would want to change, but I think I want to use substance abuse and behavioral and code of conduct realm. In my professional life, I have most advantage of seeing the investigations that are occurring in the county. Other schools, I'm able to see trends. Substance abuse is one of those, whether it's marijuana, THC, MDMA. I've seen people's adult problems start in middle school and high school. So I think we can address that early. If resources that families might need that they don't that are available to them in the community. Foundation 2 is a good example of that. I think that'd be well served for everyone to look at those and still get positive about something.
Yeah, I actually don't have anything in particular that I would want to come in and change. I would want to educate myself as much as I could on current policy and really turn to fellow board members of what has been discussion in the past and what do we need to be taking into consideration, and then I will go back and I will research, and so that I can come to the table with a well-informed decision and a better understanding of all the policy.
Regarding the policies, as Dan said, the school board is currently reviewing policies. Some of them are required to be reviewed and read on an annual basis, and some of them are mandated by the state. And I would say, I don't have a specific one, but I would say that we need to consistently enforce the ones that are in place, where, whether it's disciplinary, that we are consistent in a way that we enforce them with those students, and that way the kids can expect that a certain behavior will be handled in a certain way, and it's not, one kid is treated this way, and another kid, well, we're going to let them off the hook. And I know you can't treat everybody the same, but as a rule, I think that if we consistently enforce what's already in place, then that would be a great improvement.
It's funny you mentioned that, you asked that question. We're actually in the process of reviewing several policies. And we do that every year. There's a portion of the policies that get reviewed every year, and we do that. To change a policy, now, it's a much easier said than done.
Right.
Okay. The policies, the board policies that are set forth, are actually taken from the guidelines of the ISBA, the Iowa School Board Association. So if you look at most of the surrounding districts, their board policies are going to look very, very similar. Now, what we can do, it's easier to change. And those policies, they go through a legal process where they're reviewed, by lawyers and all that stuff to make sure everything is above board. But that said, I think some of the things that could be tweaked and adjusted a little bit actually reside more in the code of conduct or in the handbook. And how some of those are worded. You can change some wording, some verbiage a little bit if you want to. But really, what it comes down is to people and how those policies are interpreted. And if we can take some of that gray area out, that would be great. One of the things I can tell you just from a personal stance is that if we have a disciplinary action and we offer community service, for example, that we can lessen that penalty or make that not so drastic. I think if we want to do that, that's great. But I would like to see some actual community service, not just some made up community service. So maybe tweaking something like that. But the bottom line is those all need to be reviewed. The handbook needs to be reviewed, and the policies are reviewed every year. And I think each policy, and don't quote me on this, but I think each policy has to be reviewed every 5 years, within 5 years. So you take a portion of that handbook each year, and that's what we do. And I think it's 5 years, but to actually go in and change an actual board policy, it can be done, but there's a process to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. strengths. Our district, I kind of said that in purple on purpose, but the biggest strength is our community. We have so many people here willing to jump in and do whatever it takes. You know, we have so many volunteers that they're doing really good things. And whether it's working a concession stand or doing youth football or basketball, I mean, we have parents and community members that dive in and take control of that. Another benefit that or another characteristic we can be proud of is our staff. You know, we have really done a nice job of recruiting staff here. We're really impressed with some of our new teachers, as well as some of the teachers who've been here for a long time. It's been fun to watch them develop into some really good educators. Of course, our facilities. I'm very proud of our facilities that we've been able to add on or build, from the FEMA building out to the new complex. That complex started with a vision of people from the community, and that's just a tribute to how important this district is to the community here. And then our location is very important too. We with our new staff, our new facilities, or not our new staff, but our staff and our new facilities, we can recruit open enrolled kids, and they can take advantage of what we're doing here too, and that's just good for everybody.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, that's the first on question tonight. Coming from this strong. If you were a cookie, what type of cookie would you be and why?
I'm going to say Thin Men for obvious reasons.
I was on the phone with my son talking about Wisconsin license plates when I got this piece of paper. And so I cheated. And he said, give me a question. I said, if you were a cookie, what type would you be and why? He said, raisin. I said, why? He said, because you're old. So I guess I'm going to go with that. And try to equate old and wisdom. But, I've been around long enough to have experienced enough things around schools and kids in life to be able to bring solid degree of, I won't call it leadership, but participation. And in fact, we've done that with lots of groups in schools, and would like to have an opportunity to apply that here also.
Monster cookie. Who doesn't like monster cookie?
Well, I was using something similar, cookie with the little mini M&Ms in them, because they're colorful and it just makes you happy, and I was going to say not oatmeal raisin, because those are deceptive. Who writes in the line? And they get chocolate chip when it's not, so, anyways, all good.
I would be a fresh baked crumble cookie chocolate chip because, I mean, if you haven't had one, you need to go out and get one tomorrow. But they come and they are warm and they just make you feel good.
I would say Oreo. Oreo personally, you dip it in milk, you can put the frosting on it, you can have so many different ways. So depending on your mood, it's how you use your Oreo.
Well, I'm actually a donut connoisseur.
Okay. Change the question.
I'm a professional donut guy. I guess if I was a cookie, I would be a double stuffed Oreo.
Oh.
Yeah, because all the good stuff is inside, and it works well in a blizzard.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey,
Sometimes when you're on the school board, sometimes you feel like you're in a blizzard.
A little bit.